Hey, good morning, good afternoon, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't know when the actual live started, so had a weird countdown there. Just good morning, welcome. I hope it's a good day for you guys. I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you guys have been staying up and watching some of the videos that we've been putting out. And I know the vlog has kind of gone up and down with a few little videos in there, and we've actually got a few comments about that, and I appreciate the feedback. Actually, a lot of you guys are really here to watch the vlog and not so much about the videos about how to make a viral TikTok video and the little montage about our family. And I get it; that's cool, no problem. But I think about the channel is we want to be creative and we want to still be able to share some of the other things that are happening in our lives. And when that thing happened with the TikTok, I thought it would be a good way to like maybe bring a wider audience in as well. So, those are some of the videos that you might have to go through. And if you're not interested in that, you'll see in the title, it's pretty straightforward. I don't usually do a lot of clickbait. So you're going to get what you see in the title for the most part. Good morning. We got a few people already in the chat. Thank you guys for being here before we started. Felix, always good to see you, buddy. Always the first one in. I wish I had a gold star to give you. I gotta figure out a way to like do a virtual stars and checks and everything like that. But Danny's in the chat already too. Good to see you. Anybody else that's here? I don't know if it shows anywhere where all the. Yeah, I'm using a different interface today for the live stream, and I've never used this one before, so I'm trying to figure out how it might be showing up. There we go. We got a few people hiding. Okay, Ram, what's up, buddy? Vin, good to see you too. Our fact checker, Vin, I love him. Every time we have something that we need to like research, he's got it like right away, right? Good morning to you guys. I'm glad you guys could all be here. Got the got a logo on there. We don't need to see that logo. It's okay. It's ABC Studios. So I got my morning coffee, and something funny actually about coffee. I don't know if this is just something as you grow older or your body grows a tolerance or an intolerance to certain things. And I guess I've seen it a little bit with friends that have started to grow a gluten intolerance. And I don't know, I always thought that was kind of a cop out, but I guess I'm starting to see like certain things your body over time just starts to process differently. And I think one of them for me is caffeine, because I never really drink sodas, but I always like the smell of coffee, and so therefore I would drink coffee. But I never really got that energetic feeling. I would always get this anxiety or this like shakiness when I would drink coffee. And especially if I did it on an empty stomach, there's no way I could wake up and drink coffee on an empty stomach, or else I would like really like start twitching, and it's really uncomfortable. So it was giving me nausea and the digestive problems that it comes with as well. But so I started to start drinking decaf, and I want to see how this goes. It's weird because I always made fun of people who drank decaf. I always thought it was like non-alcoholic beer. Like, what's the point of getting decaffeinated coffee when the whole point of coffee is to have the caffeine, right? I guess I'm learning that for me, it was never really about the caffeine. It was just about the experience and the smell I love of coffee that I wanted to enjoy, and the taste. I mean, I don't like black coffee though. Yeah, you don't even drink coffee. You drink like 90% milk. So what are you talking about the taste? I should just get coffee like flavor droplets to put in yours. Yeah. How quickly that just turned from like, I love the taste to, I don't like coffee.
I mean, just imagine like coffee.
I just imagine coffee. Yeah, that's like, yeah, I mean, for like I said, it's an experience thing. I think that's how Starbucks has made so much money. It's not selling coffee; it's the experience that you get when you go into a store, right? Or the feeling you have carrying around.
I go Starbucks.
Right, and why?
I buy frappuccino.
Because the flavor, right?
Flavor, yeah.
Okay, so
like freebie or sometimes for I don't know photo. I feeling, you know.
I want a Starbucks coffee for the photo.
Or feeling, you know. I drink, of course.
Nico, what's up, buddy? With the red values in the house. He's a fellow decaf drinker too. Yeah. So it's good. I'm starting to find myself in this classification of people. It's like vegans and and gluten-free people, like they all like hang out together. I don't want to say hang out together, but it's like a tribe, right? You know, when you have some similar intolerance or similar like um some similar thing like that, I guess, that you have with other people, that's, I don't want to say like a minority like thought or minority choice, but it's something that you similarity, I guess. It's funny how when people start to group together, like vegans, they're always like vegan, 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 and you know these is just a generalization, so don't hate me in the comments with this, but it's funny now I'm like becoming part of that decaf tribe, that decaf group. Like all the people that are decaf, like, yeah, decaf, what's up? It's like a sports team or something, right? I don't know. Maybe that's just, I'm still new to the team. I'm a rookie, but so anyway, no hating on decaf anymore. Used to make fun of it, not anymore.
I don't know. I don't feel anything. For example, have caffeine, decaf. I'm the same always.
You can't tell the difference?
I don't know anything. Because I don't always 90% milk.
Well, yeah, I mean, Tycho makes her milk. Makes her coffee. Basically, she'll put like 80% of the cup of milk, and then she'll put it in the microwave, heat it up for 3 minutes, and then just put a little bit of coffee in there.
Really, yeah.
So I think it's pretty much the caffeine's diluted pretty strongly anyway if you're drinking it that way. But I don't know. There's a difference now when you have like a Vietnam or Ethiopian, like a dark roast that's really strong.
I try, but of course a little bit, but I don't feel like always gonna. I want to sleep, right?
Yeah.
Like, however, something aggressive now. No, never happen.
Yeah. Well, coffee shouldn't make you aggressive, but it does give you. It's supposed to give you energy. I mean, that's what the caffeine does, right? But all right, started drinking black coffee if and only if no milk is available. Yeah. Yeah, and I was trying to drink black coffee when I was dieting and when I was really trying to clean the stuff like toxins and stuff out of my system. Wasn't drinking any alcohol, was trying not to add any sugars or milks to the coffee because I wanted it clear. Excuse me, wow. That toast this morning. I don't know, there's air or something. So and then Ram said I started drinking coffee with milk and honey when I was young. Now I only drink it black unless I go to Starbucks. Yeah, honey is good. I actually like to add agave. Oh, yeah. Agave is a good one for me because it gives it that natural sweetness, but it's also you don't have to put a lot in to get out of it, and it's more natural than adding like the sweet and low or the white sugar. Even brown sugar, sometimes I'll add if I have to, like at Starbucks. But
agave or honey?
Yeah. Those are good, and they're more natural sweeteners than all the other stuff that's processed and artificial. So anyways, well, good morning, everybody. It's we got quite a few people in the chat right now. If you guys haven't hit the like button, thank you guys for being here. Today we're talking about music. As you could tell by the thumbnail and the description, it's interesting because over the last couple of days, I had been thinking of some interesting topics that are pretty general, but also that have some kind of meaning to us. And like we had talked about the ghosts and stuff, which was really interesting. And then we talked about how'd you get in your job, right? This month already. So we're getting into some topics that are I don't know, interesting and fun to talk about. And actually, speaking on ghosts, did we see a ghost last night?
Last time, yeah.
Last night.
Last night.
Remember we were sitting here?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that was a ghost, but we both saw a shadow, and neither of us like visually saw what it was.
Always, I saw some black shadow. Always think cockroach.
Yeah, but this shadow is way too big to be a cockroach.
I don't know if it's big or spider or just. I think only me I can see. But you say you saw too.
No, it's crazy. So we're sitting here in the living room, and right in front of us is the TV, and then you can see the entrance to the hallway and the kitchen. And right through that little passageway, I'll flip the camera on in a second to show you, but right through that passageway, the like right through here, the animal went.
I feel like this.
Yeah, it was crazy. You thought it went in front of the fireplace. I thought it went into the kitchen, and neither of us saw actually what it was. We just saw a shadow, And I was like, with the size of the shadow, it looked like it was the shape of like a mouse. But knowing Tycho's scared of cockroaches, I was like, it couldn't be a cockroach, but I was going to use that just to scare her.
Yeah, I hate.
But we got over there and we didn't find anything. Like it didn't stop. It didn't make any noise. It just, catches your eye on your peripheral vision.
Everything, some stuff back and
we moved everything, right?
Everything, and we don't see any.
Yeah, it's funny because you thought it went in front. I thought it went behind, but neither of us got a clear vision of it. So maybe it was a ghost, maybe it wasn't. But I don't think it was a ghost. I think because when we saw some bread on the floor this morning and a Ziploc bag chewed through, I think it was probably a mouse. Yeah, and a little hole in the raisin bread. No. What? Oh, in the poo? You can say poo online.
Okay.
You can say poo.
I saw that time mouse poop.
The first time she's ever seen mouse poop.
And I stepped it.
You stepped on it?
Stepped it. I already washed.
Yeah, I hope. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So Tycho experienced another first. We should just retitle this whole live stream Tycho's first time stepping in mouse poop. Got to change the whole thumbnail and everything. We could just spend the whole hour talking about mouse poop, huh? Anybody have any mouse poop stories they want to share with us? Or no, that sounds really bad. So yeah, we're talking about music and how music affects your life, how it's changed your life, what it does. Because I know for a lot of people, music has a strong resonance in how they live and how their day and how their mood can change just by listening to music or thinking of a song or anything like that. So it's something that we were thinking about yesterday too, between a couple things. One, we are working on a duo act again, and we are, a lot of you guys might like this. We are creating an S&M, a BDSM like style act with the teeth and the hair hangs. So I thought naturally these elements would go good with that kind of style act. So we've been working on that. We're trying to find music that would go good with this. And then I'm trying to edit some music with some different sounds and stuff that also bring the feel and effect of that style of act. So I started thinking about how music, when we were playing through different songs, which ones, how they actually feel without even thinking about our act. We played a song and we're like, what does this automatically make you feel? What is it like, the image that you think of when your eyes are closed and you hear this song? And it's interesting because we were going through like Disturbed, Imagine Dragons, Buck Cherry, Metallica, a lot of these heavy rock kind of music because again, I don't know, S&M is not a common characteristic and common niche that we know a lot about. So we had to do a little research, of course, like the movements and like the style and how people in these dominant and submissive positions, how they act around each other. So we're doing a lot of research on that. And then again, with the music, we're trying to find what style do we want it to be, like really passive BDSM? Do we want it to be aggressive? Do we want it to be heavy? Do we want it to be strong? And obviously the dynamic between who is the dominant and who is the submissive in this act is really critical because that's also going to tell the story through the song. So again, like using music and finding the right song and the right music is real important to what we are. Are you? There's a microphone so we can hear you talk.
I don't see.
Yeah, nobody's talking back to us, but so they can hear you talk. I don't think. Did you guys hear anything that Tycho was saying? I don't know if the microphone on the computer is working because we were using the ear pods, but anyway, let us know if you heard anything Tycho said because it might have just been your mouth moving.
I think I don't hear anything, so I don't hear. Why do we play? I don't understand.
You thought I was like listening to music or something? Barely. So you're probably picking up her voice through my microphone.
Okay.
Much better now. Now they can hear you.
Okay.
Good job, Debbie.
Yeah.
Welcome to the chat. Thanks, Ram. Thank you for. Felix, you can't hear much. Can you hear me very well? Can you hear Tycho very well?
Me? Yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
Well, so it sounds like we are coming in clear. Anyway, yeah, so we're talking about music, and I'm happy for you guys to share some of your stories or interest in different types of music. What like what themes do you like? What kind of music, or like looking towards a S&M type of theme, if you guys are familiar, or even if you're unfamiliar and you've seen some stuff about it, what kind of music do you think about when you think of that kind of niche? And what like artists or what kind of songs? I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this. Even if you are watching on the replay, leave us stuff in the comments, because we're still going through a whole catalog of different music. We're trying to figure out what will play into how we're doing this act. So if any of you guys had seen before, we did an act with a hair and teeth hang in Vietnam, but it was definitely a whole different style of act. It was more love, more a story of romance, and boy meets girl, girl kind of avoids boy, boy swoons her, and then they fall in love. So, that's a kind of a very typical story in aerial, duo aerial performances. But we thought, because we have such a unique act, we want to change up the expected theme, so that's why we are going this direction, which is good because it's a challenge for both of us. Definitely for Taika, who's more of the ballerina, graceful style, and now she's gonna have to put on this mean face and dark makeup and like be in charge. And for me, I'm usually the one in control, the one that's making a lot of the decisions, and now I'm going to be the one that has to be submissive and like let her kind of control the act, control the movement, and what's happening throughout the performance. So it's a good challenge for both of us, and I think it's really good for us as artists to explore this and see how much it affects like what we can really create artistically, as well as breaking into uh, a form that we're not familiar with, So so that's what we're talking about with music. The other thing, what were we talking about last night with music? Gosh, I can't remember. Well, oh, music in videos and vlogs, and how that changes the feel and the tone of like what you're watching. So this is like the biggest challenge for me when I'm making vlogs and videos. Um, I have a real good idea of the story, and I want to put together the entire story timeline, but there are certain segments that I need to go a little bit along with the music. So I want an underlying music playing with certain things that I'm talking about, so that it's not just boring or you don't hear a lot of the ambient like white noise or outdoor noise. But I have a hard time sometimes finding the right category of music to play. For example, for a montage for trapeze, and I don't want to play the same music every time, but I also want to I want to change it up and kind of challenge myself with a different editing style. So sometimes I'll play a little bit more of a hip hop or a harder edged like alternative music, and see how that changes the feel of the reaction when people are watching that montage or that section of the video. But definitely, because there's so much variety of music on YouTube and on all the paid subscription channels, uh, it's so difficult to find music. But again, it's like so critical in terms of how the video comes out, and I really struggle with that a lot. So any advice or tips to any other YouTubers that are watching this video have for me would be great. I set a goal on the Patreon to raise enough money to where we could get a subscription and like an art list or pandemic epidemic sound. um, One of those are monthly subscriptions that you can pay, and then you get the copyright free music, and you can use that. And it's categorized really well so that you can find the type of feel that you're looking for your music. We haven't been able to really get into that because it's an extra expense, and so we're not really doing that yet. So I've been using a lot of the stuff on the YouTube audio studio, and a lot of the YouTube channels that are non-copyright vlog channel music or non-copyright sounds. A lot of that stuff I've been stealing, or not stealing, been using from those channels. But and also I have a friend of mine who creates music, and so he's the one that made a lot of the music for a lot of the intros. All the intros that are like that show Ryan Schneider vlogs, blah blah blah. Those like 6 to 10 second clips are about. Those are stuff that he created himself. He's a music mixer and DJ from Orlando, and I usually always link his description down below. His name is Armando, DJ Armando D. Really cool musician and DJ. So I use that sometimes, but because his sound is very unique, it works only for certain things in my vlogs, and I haven't been able to use it as a general sound, but it does help for like certain little stingers and promos and intros and stuff like that. So that's another outlet that I've been using to find music. And so that's kind of the topic of today is the music. Let's go through some of the comments. I've been missing some of the comments. Sorry, guys. So for the S&M theme, for some reason, it makes me think of goth and whatever they listen to. That's a good comment, Vin, because when we were talking about a song last night, The Sound of Silence, the version that Disturbed, not Simon and Garfunkel, but this Disturbed version, that was the one that I was thinking, oh, this is such a good, it's got a heavy tone, it's got a heavy feel. But then we started listening to it, and it just didn't carry the same feel for the movement that we want. We want some more dynamic movements in the song that are gonna resonate with the movements that we're doing with spinning and swinging and all that stuff. So we need something that has a little bit more energy to it at certain points. But yeah, there's some certain heavy goth type music that I really enjoy that just doesn't, at least the stuff I found right now. If you have any other artists or music titles, definitely put those in the chat or send them in the comments so that I can research those, because those will help give us some ideas. But I haven't been able to find anything in that genre right now that's really worked very well with like what we're trying to do. But for romance, something slowish and sensual. Yeah. Oh, we're getting some breakup on the mic. Oh, sorry about that. I wonder if it's because I'm touching the thing. But any input you want to throw in there right now? Because I feel like I've been talking the whole time. You want to talk about coffee again?
No.
Or mice poop?
No.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. You want to just sit there and let me talk?
I know.
What's the deal with your headband? What is yours?
Cat. Pink cat.
Yes, I can see that. Are you trying to scare away the mice? Is that what that's all about?
No. Yeah. Maybe walk. And Fefe too.
Fefe can't wear that.
You have to wear it too.
Okay, Fefe. Just chilling. Fefe, you want to say hi? No? Okay.
No.
Just chilling. So yeah, that's what we were talking about. Oh, now you want to wake up? Now you want to get involved? But yeah, so music is one of those things that it really can set the mood, it can set the tone. That's why there's certain songs that you will hear for certain events, like weddings, for graduations, for birthday parties. They all have a different feel. And it's interesting because oh, hey, good to see you, Cobra. Multitasking from work. Hey, Cobra, a little side note. It's funny, when Tycho saw your screen name there, she got so confused because we were watching that Cobra Kai on Netflix. And Mac?
This one.
MacBook?
No,
the Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because it's a Cobra.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And do you know what brat means? You know what a brat is? Brat. Brat's like a snotty girl. It's like a girl's like always like poking. It doesn't have to be a girl. It can be a boy too, but it's like an annoying kid. You're a brat, yeah. So Cobra brat. So annoying, like yeah. And it's interesting. I don't know what I like seeing, like all the different name handles and like trying to figure out what they mean. For the longest time, I thought Ramsey's silent.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was Ramsessalent. I was like, Ramsessalent. Ooh, that sounds like very delectable, like something that you would describe for a really delicious food. Ooh, that's Ramsessalent. But yeah, it wasn't until I actually met him, when we met him in Vegas, They said it was Ramsey's silent. I was like, oh, duh. Okay, so she said it's because she had a Mustang Cobra and she's a brat. That's awesome. So there you go. Not anything to do with Cobra Kai, but it is a cool logo.
Yeah.
What were we? We were talking about music, huh? Were we talking about music? Were we talking about mice? We were talking about mice poop. We're talking about coffee. We had a lot of stuff already, huh? It's only 25 minutes in. You're talking about snakes?
No.
Snakes eat mice.
I'm snake. Yeah.
You're a snake?
My boy. You don't.
What are you talking about?
Every year have.
Oh, your animal, like the horoscope or
Yeah.
whatever. The year of the snake.
Yeah.
Ah. So here's something that Tycho likes to do. We'll be talking about a subject. We'll be talking about, let's say, fireworks. And then out of the blue, she'll say quesadilla. And you're like, how does that connect at all? And she'll like assume that you know exactly what she's talking about because in her mind, she's had this whole full conversation about that topic, yet nobody else in the entire room has had that conversation or understands where that's coming from. So
my brain sometimes go different way. I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny. It's just like
some people understand me.
Maybe some people, but we haven't met any of those people yet. The thing is, I like when you bring in different topics, but you have to give a little bit of connection to what we're talking about, so that, or you can you preface it by saying, "Oh, completely unrelated, but I'm a snake."
Okay.
I mean, it does relate to the thing that we're talking about, snakes, but like when you say you're a snake, I just didn't get it. Anyway, come on, Ryan, got to keep up. Yeah, doing my best.
I know.
We'll be eating dinner and we'll be having a long, like 10-minute conversation about something. And it's really kind of like a deep conversation. And then she'll just break out like something completely unrelated. And she'll only say a few words. She'll be like, water fountain. I like water fountains. I'm like, what does that have to do with who we're talking about?
I don't know. Sometimes my brain come out. If I don't say, of course I forgot. You know me.
Right.
And sometimes my eyes, something come out this way. So I have to say.
So you see something.
Or sometimes see, or sometimes my brain comes. So I have to say.
So that's a sign of an artist. That's a sign of you have an artist brain, right? It means like you're not always thinking logically about everything. You start to think aesthetically, and you start to think of different images and ideas that aren't really related to what's going on because your mind is constantly thinking of something creative and unique, right? That's the artist brain. And
I don't know, and I don't know how to explain. That's why sometimes only this one.
Okay. Well, we'll start to learn a little bit more about her. Can you be both an artist as well as a logic person? I think you can. I think the brain is so complex. It has a lot of depth and it has a lot of range in terms of where you can be very creative, but yet also very logical and very straightforward, very systematic. I mean, the people who are on far ends of either side of those are the ones that you usually would consider a genius. But the funny thing is like if you talk to somebody who's a very, very talented artist, you talk to them about something that's very systematic or logical, I guess. I don't know what the right word is, but it's funny to see like the difference in how their mind processes through those things. Because I hang out with recently hang out with some of the people that we hang out with are very, very intellectual, very intelligent, very, very smart, high level people at their jobs, and they're very systematic about their approach to things. But when it comes to like creativity and like that kind of artistic ideals, it's a little bit more difficult to like explain those kind of ideas to them. So in any case, that's like kind of along the lines of what we're talking about with artistry as well, and music is like the different styles of music some resonate well with people, and others it doesn't, you know. So like the different genres of music, for example. So me, I grew up in Texas, but I did not like country music. I couldn't stand it. For some reason, when I hear country music, it would give me a headache. And I don't know why that was, but I think it was just because something psychologically, like the twang of it or the tempo, I don't know what it was, but it just bothered me. And so I couldn't listen to it. Country music, yeah.
But you country music.
But now I do, right? Yeah, so it's weird. I think it was when I worked at Six Flags in Texas. I was doing a Western stunt show, just like that. That was connected. That's very good. I was working in Texas, and every day when we get there to warm up the horses, they'd be playing country music, and I'm like, man, it was giving me a headache. On top of that, it was the middle of summer, so it was like 100 degrees, 110 degrees, and warming up the horses and listen to country music, and I was starting to get a headache. But I don't know what it was. There was something throughout the process of just listening to the words and feeling the rhythm of the music that slowly changed my reaction to that kind of music. And I wouldn't say I love country music, but I can really enjoy listening to country music at certain times. And
But you like singing.
I like singing country music because I can add my own like twang and character to it. Go on, do an impression. Do an impression, Tycho. Give me an impression of that. Go ahead.
I don't know.
You're almost there.
Yeah,
Come on, sing. Come on.
I don't know.
We're talking about music. You got to do some singing. Japan is like famous for karaoke. You got to do some singing.
No,
You guys want to see Tycho sing?
No.
You guys want to see Tycho sing? All right. Well, if we get some requests in the live chat about singing, you're gonna have to do some singing.
No.
Even if it's just from The Little Mermaid.
No.
Even if it's from Aladdin. No. I can show you the world. No? You don't want to sing the Jasmine part?
No.
Country karaoke. We could do country karaoke. The Red Value actually said before I missed his comment, he said, what I was impressed by the most when I met you is how much thought and care you put into your performance. That was pretty cool to listen to. Yeah, I really appreciate it. You remember when him and his girlfriend came to see our show? It was in Toyama. We were in Toyama, and they came to watch the show. And it's always so great. It's so awesome, like, especially in Japan, because I didn't know a lot of people in Japan. And when I was touring in America, in every city we went to, not every city, but the majority of the cities, there was somebody I had met or somebody I knew or some family member that lived in the city. So I always got a chance to meet up with people and perform for people that I knew. But when we were in Japan, it was totally the opposite. There wasn't very many people that I knew, really hardly any, except for when people flew into town. And then as I started doing YouTube and meeting other YouTubers, it was so cool to like have you guys come and watch the show. And that's why I was really excited for us to start working for Cirque du Soleil. So when we start touring the States, we could meet a lot of you guys, or in Canada.
Yeah.
But obviously we know how that turned out. But it was really cool because in Japan, we got to meet the Red Value. We met Eric Surf 6, Critical East Japan. We met Tomoko, Asagi's Life, Yuki Japan Fries. Gosh, there's so many more. I can't even. Spencer Amantic, yeah. Reina. Yeah. So that's Critical East Japan. Yeah. So yeah, it was really cool. And to have you guys come to watch the show, like, there's extra feeling, and no matter what an artist or performer says, whenever you go see a show, if they know that somebody they know is watching, they're going to put on an extra performance, like extra, I don't know what it is. I always thought as a performer, like, I'm going to give 100% every time I go out there, no matter what, if it's 5 people or if it's 5,000 people, because everybody's paying just as much to see the show, and that's your job as a performer. And you have an opportunity to give somebody some kind of inspiration or enjoyment or entertainment, or even just forget about their day or whatever is going on in their life for the time being. And so I feel like whether there's 5 or 5,000 people in the audience, like that's your responsibility and that's your job. And if you don't have a passion for that, then it's probably not the best job for you to be doing. But there's something again about like when there's somebody you know in the audience, you spot them when you first go out on stage, or they tell you they're going to be there, and you're looking in the audience and you find them, that you get this extra boost of energy and this extra bit of performance that goes into what you do is it's indescribable. It's such a cool feeling. And then to like hear feedback when you guys are like saying how much you could recognize all that emotion that we put into it, and the feeling that we put into our performance, that stuff is so priceless to a performer to hear, or to an artist. And I guess it's just like an artist or a musician hearing like how much a song or a piece of art or something that they saw that you created had such a strong feeling and a response to somebody. And that's I don't know, that's what I live for as far as a performer and entertainer. But that's yeah, so now we've missed a few of the comments. I apologize, guys. I'm gonna go back in these comments and catch up a little bit. What's going on? There's some talk about, I swear mukbang juggling is gonna become a thing. Mukbang juggling. Ooh, country I think is nasal. I love the Dixie Chicks, bluegrass. Okay. Yeah, and there's so many different varieties of each genre too. Like it's not just twangy country. There's Texas country, there's country rock, there's country hip hop, there's slow country, there's Nashville country. There's so many different like varieties of each genre that even though you might not be a fan of the typical like traditional staple of that genre, doesn't mean that there's not something in that still in that realm that might be interesting to you, or that might resonate with the sounds that give you some kind of feeling, you know. Country karaoke. Grew up listening to 80s. Vin said he grew up listening to 80s, started college listening to rap, rock, pop. Now it's country. It's interesting how country, because country is not something that's played all over the world. There is some local country obviously in each country, I think, but like typical country that you think of, like American country, Nashville country, they don't have in Japan. They don't have in a lot of the Eastern European countries. And they definitely have country. There's country folk too. Dixie Chicks, I missed you by 1 day. Yeah, Cobra, we missed you by 1 day in Vegas. Now we're only 2.5 hours. Oh, where are you? We're only 2.5 hours away from you. Where are you? Hit me up in the DM. Like, let me know where you're at. Maybe we can do a meetup or something over here. What do you guys think about that? I know it's probably not a good idea during the pandemic to have meetups, right? Maybe we could do an outdoor event, like at the trapeze or something. That would be really cool, right? We could do that. We could have Tokyo Drew come over and put him on the trapeze. Yeah. Have you ever been on motorcycles riding around in the cage? So in the circus, I did motorcycle, but not in the cage. I did it on the high wire. You know the motorcycle cage? Yeah, the sphere. Yeah, so I did motorcycle on a high wire. I'll get more into that later. I'll leave you with that little cliffhanger. Hi, Lisa. Good to see you here. Mr. Kakaroto, good to see you. Sorry, there's a few guys that joined the chat that I haven't got to say hi to, and good morning or good afternoon. Pheng is here. Good to see you, buddy. Chris, sorry I didn't say hi, but I read some of your comments. Yeah, good to see you guys. What are you guys going to dress up for Halloween? So that's a good question.
That's a good question. I'm rich.
You're a witch.
Yeah, I have servant. My servant.
All right, say that word in English.
I have my sweet servant.
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 So I had mentioned to guys before in the ghost live stream, Tycho made this video for one of the hair hangers. They were making a compilation video of like some different scenes for Halloween video, and we have her clip. It's like 1.5 minutes long. It's hilarious. We did some different camera angles and mic'd her up and everything, and Feifei was even had a cameo in there. But we're gonna post that one of these days when I have I think probably towards the end of October, when it gets closer to Halloween. I'm gonna post that video. Or if for some reason I have a day where I just didn't have time to create a vlog and make it put up by 11 a.m., I'll just post that one. That's gonna be our backup video. But it's hilarious. It's good. So Tycho's gonna be a witch. I don't know what I'm gonna be. I have no clue. The last couple years, we planned, we prepared ahead of time. One year it was Guile from Street Fighter. The year before I was Chucky. Um, and we always do a matching theme costume. So if you're the witch, then
Let's say that you're a spider.
I was Spider-Man, you were a cat, so it wasn't really much of a connection there. But
Yeah.
this year we have to do something unique. And there's actually drive-in like scary movie theater that we're gonna go to, I think. On the yeah, do you remember Sienna was telling us about this? So there's some really scary movies playing at this drive-up theater. Obviously it's COVID safe because it's a drive-up, but I think we're gonna do that. But I don't know. I don't know what's happening with like any Halloween parties. So maybe I'll just dress up at the trapeze. What should I dress up as? If you're a witch, what connects to a witch? What's related to a witch? If I think of like the witch from Wizard of Oz, I could be like the Cowardly Lion or the Scarecrow.
What is that?
We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
You heard the whistling. She's like, what? Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I should have probably been thinking about this, but
I'm weak.
you're servant. You just learned that word and you like use it all the time now.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Just the image of Drew on trapeze is hilarious. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what it would take I think it would take a huge push. Well, literally and figuratively to get him up there. But I think that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
I just got to get Drew to get on. I got to get him in the same place as me. What else we got? Want to know how to make egg rolls or go shopping? That's interesting. For some good decaf. All right, Ram. So for some good decaf, do you have any suggestions? Because I just started shopping for decaf, and I don't even know what's like a good brand or where to. I've noticed that a lot of the coffee aisles have like one decaf brand, and it's usually different from one place to the next. I don't know if it's something I should be buying online or if I should just start. I've really minimized the coffee in my diet altogether, but I wake up, I smell that smell of coffee, and I want to have some. So decaf is like what I've been going to. But yeah, I wonder what's a good brand or like where to get good decaf. Or am I like mistaken? Is decaf just like a diet soda where they're all very similar in taste because you've lost the caffeine? I don't know. That's interesting. I'll have to check that out. So decaf and drinking stuff. I like the workout stuff and drinking stuff. Tycho's Witch, you could be a lion from the Chronicles of Narnia.
What is that called?
Chronicles of Narnia, it's a book and a movie. You could search that one.
Okay.
I could be a lion. That's what they called me in Japan. Lion.
Lion.
Yeah. Lion Schneider. Schneider-san. More cheesecake on the road, yo. Oh, Lisa's been commenting about this quite frequently about the roadkill cheesecake. Remember when Tycho? So just a quick backstory. Tycho, we had this cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory, which is my favorite, and we were going to LA. We were driving from Ventura to LA, which is an hour drive, and Tycho puts the cheesecake on the top of the car. She gets in, everybody gets in, we get in the car, we go to pick up gas about a mile and a half away from the house, and she's like, oh, the cheesecake. I forgot the cheesecake.
Where is the cheesecake? In the house from our house.
Yeah, when you brought it out of the house.
Yeah, and after where I put it, probably I put it in the carton. And after everything, I put my stuff, backpack, new stuff, we ready, everything fine. And we are going cheesecake. I have my hand.
And this is my favorite one too. It's the peanut butter. It's the Adam's peanut butter fudge ripple. It's the best. It's so good.
Yeah, first time I tried.
Yeah. Well, you didn't get to try. Almost didn't get to try it.
Yeah.
So what happened was, long story short, she put it on the top of the car. We backtracked from where the gas station was. It was a good thing we didn't get halfway to LA from there, because I would have probably just had to sacrifice it. But I was close enough. I was like, we're only about 5 or 10 minutes away. I said, okay, we'll backtrack and lose 10, 15 minutes, but we got to get this cheesecake. So we backtracked the whole route. We got back to the house and it wasn't there. I was like, well, it didn't slide off, and our house is on a hill. There's
We are going.
right.
Somebody
Picked it up off the ground, or maybe the mice or something. But it was not more than like 15, 20 minutes. So it's like we had to be around here. So we just started following the road, and we found it like 2 blocks from the house. So somehow that little plastic container didn't slide around, and it stayed on the roof all the way until we got to this corner. Yeah, and it slid off, and it was like opened up on the road, but the plastic was between the cheesecake and the road. So I was looking at it, and I was like, it's still safe, right? I was like, roadkill cheesecake? Should we eat it? Should we eat it? And Tycho was like, oh, I have to video you if you do that for sure. And so naturally, I'm not gonna let any food go to waste. But it was also a really hot day, and so we went back, and the cheesecake was kind of melted a little bit. It's like the whipped cream was a little melted, but it was good. Anyway, it was good. So I'm glad you liked that one, Lisa. Pheng, you just joined us. Yeah, we were talking about music before, buddy. It was we were talking about how music has an effect on your life and the way that you feel and see things, and we were covering different aspects of it. One was with our performance and how right now we're trying to create a performance that's kind of like a S&M, BDSM type of theme, and we're trying to find music that would fit that theme that also has some dynamic range within like the chorus and the hooks, so that we can do our big tricks and like the dynamic movements of our act along with it. And then also how the music you hear in vlogs or videos, how that under the score underneath the music or underneath the video really changes the way that you see or hear what is being talked about. And a good example of that, actually, while we turn back to that topic, was that when you're watching a video like an educational or informational video, where they're telling you some information or facts about like top 10 things that you need to know about pillows. Usually they're not just going to be sitting there talking to a microphone with dead air or white noise. Usually they'll put like a little soft soundtrack below it that kind of gives you this feel that you're having a conversation and you're not really paying attention to the sound. But if the sound is not there, you definitely will notice it. So I've noticed like I start doing that a lot with some of the parts of the video, especially my intros. Whenever I'm, hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. You know, like the introduction, it can be very static without any other layers of it. So I've started adding a little bit of ambient music underneath a lot of the just talking parts of my videos. And I think it gives it an extra layer. I feel like it gives it another dimension of how you hear the information. But one of the things that we were talking about was that the music choice that you pick there and that sound and the tempo and how it goes along with what you're saying should really match up, or else it's going to really kind of confuse the audience as well. So that's what we were talking about earlier in the live stream. Now we've been going off on quite a few different topics. You guys in the chat are giving us a few things to talk about, which is really cool. But that's what we're talking about with music, and also where people find their music for the videos, and if you watch movies and how that has a different effect. Also for people who work out, like I would say 90% of people that work out listen to some kind of music because it gives them some kind of motivation. And I can say pretty confidently, I think a lot of people are not going to be listening to like really slow classical music while they're working out. Now, I'm sure there are a few people are, but most people are listening to something that's upbeat, that gives them energy, that gives them motivation, that gives them that drive while they're working out. Heavy metal, hip hop, rap, rock and roll, that kind of stuff that has a higher tempo, higher energy. And the reason that is because it gives your body some kind of visceral response to the sound. And like that's kind of what we've been talking about throughout the parts of this live stream, how that music really affects you and affects your body. Some people, music is therapy. There is music therapy that people can heal from traumatic experiences through music. It's incredible. Or how music in your life changes over time, and like what you like, what is appealing to you, and how your ear changes to eventually liking something that's a little bit different than what you initially grew up listening to. So that was some of the things we were talking about. We got into the chat, we started talking about Halloween costumes and then also coffee and stuff like that. So we've had a few different topics that are interesting as well, because in some way they all relate. I'm gonna try and find a connection now to from mice to Halloween costumes and snakes and coffee to music. This is my challenge. This is like a comedian on stage doing improv. Like we'll give you 5 topics and try and figure out how they all connect. That's usually what I do when I'm having conversations with Tycho, because I'll be talking about something and then she'll just say airplane, and there's no airplane passing by. It's just some random thought that she thought we were having a conversation about. Good conversation. She knows when I say that it's like a completely disassociated topic that has got me so confused. So coffee break. Oh, what are you? Demo. The good thing about coffee is, like, if you're drinking decaf, you can just drink it as much as you wanted. When I was drinking regular coffee before, I could literally drink about 6 ounces of coffee. I drank a full cup. I would, if I had a full cup, I would rarely ever drink the entire full cup unless I put a ton of like creamer or sweetener in it. And of course, like throughout the day, I see people drinking coffee. I don't know how they do it. I couldn't do it. Yeah. But drinking decaf, it doesn't have that effect. It doesn't give you the jitters and everything.
Just a little bit morning taste. I'm okay. Not like all day one thing.
No. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Some people can do it. Some people can wake up on an empty stomach and do it. That's not me. But so found a good decaf called Laird's Superfood, free shipping in the USA. Oh, I'm gonna write that one down. So give me a second. Thank you for that, Chris. Laird's Superfood. I just became a decaf drinker, and I know I'm gonna get some comments about that. That's okay, cool. Bring it, guys. But I appreciate the suggestions, because I've never been really interested in decaf, and I've never really searched it. So this is really helpful. So McDonald's coffee. Oh yeah, that's a good one. I always like the white chocolate mocha. White mocha is my favorite. Miss T, is she able to drive? Can you drive yet?
No.
Why not?
Yes, I can drive, but in US still not.
Not legally. Yeah, we're still waiting for the process to where she can get her permit, and we got to get a car first, though. We don't. It doesn't matter if you can drive. We don't even have a car. Maybe we can get one of those self-driving cars. What do you think about that? That's not gonna teach you to drive, though. You know, the Tesla has the self-driving. You just take your hands off the wheel and you watch. Yeah. All right. Okay. So we're gonna be doing a fundraiser to raise money to get a Tesla so Tycho can drive in America, or so she can sit behind the wheel in a car in America and look like she's driving. Pheng asked, do you drive manual or automatic? I drive both. The first car I actually drove was a standard. It was a manual, and I love it. I don't have that license. Yeah, in Japan, you actually have to have a license to drive a manual, which is really interesting. Goodness. My first car was a manual, and when I think of a manual, I think of like the race cars, right? That you shift between gears to like go faster. The first car I had was it was a Hyundai Excel, 1989 Hyundai Excel, had 90 horsepower, 13-inch wheels, and it barely got to 90 miles an hour in 5th gear. It was really slow, so it didn't have that feel, but it was cool because it was a nice, inexpensive car to like learn how to do stick shift on, and it's really fun. And then when I got to Japan and we bought a dresser at this this recycle place, we didn't have a truck to drive it back to the circus, but they had one there. It was a manual, and I told them I could drive a manual, and I didn't realize you had to have a second license to drive stick shift in Japan. But she just let me take the car anyway, so it was really cool. And it was weird because driving with your stick shift on the left hand rather than the right hand it was a different feel, a different experience, but it was a lot of fun. So I really enjoyed driving those kind of cars. Tycho can drive a golf cart without a license. Golf cart? Yeah. Okay. Just not fast. I mean, they don't go very fast. Where would you drive it to? Grocery?
Yeah, only go to
Yeah,
shop.
but you have to have a license to drive it on the street. Yeah, the car has to have a license. Not a golf cart. Anything that's driving on the roads has to have a license and turn signals and all the.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Pheng, you can write a song. Pour some honey on me. He said he likes his coffee with honey, and you can find them. You can't find a manual unless it's That's the other thing is now, and especially in America, they don't make vehicles with stick shift anymore.
Yeah,
Everything's automatic.
Everything now is automatic.
Yeah. Yeah, but depending on what country you go to, there's a lot of countries that have the stick shift. Yeah, and especially if you rent a car, some places that have rental cars, they have stick shift. Like when I was in Indonesia, I think it was Indonesia. Most of the rental cars were stick shift, so you had to have a lot of confidence to be able to drive them there, especially in that kind of environment, because the way that they drive over there is it's like Vietnam. It's like Vietnam.
Vietnam, China.
Yeah. Well, so we got through some topics today. We started talking about coffee instead of music, but we got some good insight today. I appreciate the suggestions for the different decaf coffees, because now I'm in a decaf club. Hit me up. Hit the like button if you're in the decaf club. Hey, what's up? Hit me in the comments. We can be buddies now. And yeah, so we're talking about music. If you guys have any suggestions or ideas of music that might go with an S&M theme, that's also not too explicit, that would be great. If you could shoot those over to us in the comments or DM on Instagram, that would be cool. Oh, one more thing. No, that's not That's not related at all.
What?
Nope, it's not related. I'll tell that in another video sometime soon. We'll find another time to talk about that topic. But yeah, so thank you guys all for watching. I appreciate all your suggestions, appreciate all of your comments, and really, really like chatting with you guys in the comments. So, oh, we had another person. Keza just showed up. What up? What up? We are just finishing up though, so hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys stay well, living your best lives, being awesome, and go decaf. All right, guys, have a great day.
Thank you.
We'll see you tomorrow. Oh, before you guys go, hey, so today, I want you guys to be ready for tomorrow morning's video, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tomorrow morning's video, we are going to do the Natto challenge with some of the guys from the trapeze. We're doing it today. So that video will be tomorrow morning. So you guys are going to love that. It's going to be great. We got some natto. We're going to make them eat the natto. We're going to get their reactions. It's going to be great. Okay. So I just want to let you guys know that before you guys leave. Thanks for being here. And we'll see you guys tomorrow morning.